Well, good, blessed evening, everybody. It's great to have you join us tonight. We have a great conversation that we are going to be having and invite you to join us. We are so thrilled that you took your Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening to spend time with us. Some of you, it might be Monday morning if you're watching us live, or if you're going to catch us later on YouTube. I'm so glad that you joined us today. We have been praying for this time, praying for you, and we are thrilled to have set aside this time to come and discuss this very, very important conversation and to bring hope to so many families that need to see light at the end of the tunnel with autism and how it affects our children, how it affects us as adults, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a power packed time. We are so thrilled that you are sharing this. If you're not doing so, please go ahead and do so and invite someone to come in. Hey, you know what? We either have a cousin who this affects, a family member, a friend. Why don't you be that beacon of hope today and send them this live for them to join into the discussion. So we're going to have about the first portion of this. Dr. Sharilyn and I are going to be discussing, and she's going to be sharing a lot of insightful information. I've got some questions for her, but we're going to have a great conversation. And then we're also going to have time to allow questions from you, our audience, that Dr. Sharilyn will be addressing and answering for you. Please write them down. In fact, you might find that she's already answering some of those questions, and so we want you to connect with us as well. I'll make sure that we get that information to you. For those of you who are joining in and got this link from somebody and have no idea who we are, let me start off by saying that I am Apostle Dr. Victoria Scott. I'm originally from Zambia, Africa, and I'm now a Zambian American. I've lived in the U.S. for almost 27 years now. I love this country. I love the continent of Africa. I love people in general. You have a beating heart. Hey, listen, I have you right here in my heart. So I love God and I love people. I venture in various forms of leadership, influence, and empowerment. And one of them right now is this health factor, because it's important that we are healthy. And I enjoy that I get to work with Dr. Sherilyn, because we are targeting people in terms of body, soul, and spirit. So this is that whole person. And so amongst the other things that I do, I love helping people get healthy. And I have the honor today and privilege to announce to you and introduce to others Dr. Sharilyn Marie Garrett. We met just over a year ago and had sat next to each other. In fact, I had sat down next to some other people, and she happened to be next to me. I happened to be next to her. And our hello changed, I think, both of our lives so much. She's become more than a friend. She's a dear sister to me. And there's so much power in our hello. Never underestimate what your hello could do. And so my journey with her began because I just wanted to lose about 10 to 20 pounds. And so she had said to me, hey, listen, we could get this done in no time. And the rest is history. Those of you who follow me on Facebook, and it's not just about the weight loss, it's really about feeling healthy, truly from the inside out, and walking out my destiny that in such a powerful way. But this woman of God caught my attention because first of all, she just loves the Lord and she loves people. And then as you begin to talk with somebody, you begin to find out all of these beautiful layers that make them. And it's not layers because there's things that she's hiding. It's just all of those, think of it like an onion, all of those beautiful parts that God has put in her and on her. And the more that you unravel, the greater the gift that you find out that she is. Not only is she beautiful, she is so gifted. She is anointed. She is brilliant. She is so smart. I'm telling you, this woman needs a Nobel Peace Prize for the work that she's doing around the world. She is literally saving lives from close to 20,000 patients that she has had and treated from cancer. She's an oncologist. So people getting healed from stage 1 to 4 cancer, they're given days to live, and she's worked with them and they're still growing strong. From rare cancers that was even in her own child, that she was able to work alongside a functional medicine doctor, became one herself. A friend of mine, we were talking about her and said, that is a special kind of woman when a mama bear says, I'm going back to school to learn what to do to get my child better. That's an extraordinary woman. That's exactly what she did already as an oncologist, became a functional medicine doctor, specialized in the brain. So that any type of ailment that people can that people have, from autoimmune diseases, yes, HIV, lupus, this woman is working with patients all across the board, and is helping them get better. Their cells are being reprogrammed. They're feeling better than they ever had, because their cells are now becoming what God created them to be, and they're moving in pristine health. And so one of the areas that she also specializes and focuses in is autism in children. And so this is where this discussion that we're having today. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, please share this on your timeline. You never know who needs to hear this. So I'm going to let her come and share even more. I think another part of her that really touches me is her heart for Africa. Oh my gosh, anybody who loves Africa, like the way I love it and even more, you're all right in my books. And so she just has such a love for African people, and Eastern Africa, particularly Kenya and Uganda. She frequents there at least once a year, where she goes to give back to the people in those countries with free surgeries and appointments and information that is saving thousands of lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me give a big warm welcome to my sister and friend, Dr. Sharilyn Marie Garrett. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Victoria. Thank you, everyone that's joining. This is a great conversation. Yes, through the health of my own family, my own children, I became so passionate about what I do. And then as I see people gain this health, it energizes me. It keeps me fueled to do more and run harder and faster to help more people.
Yes.
So, yes, my own daughter was diagnosed with leukemia and down a road, and thankfully, thank God, she is now in university. She is doing very well. Thank you for thinking about her. When she was diagnosed with cancer, 2 weeks later, our middle daughter was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. It was said type 1 diabetes runs in my dad's side of the family. For generations, they had had type 1 diabetes. And I got to prove to the world that type 1, to my family, type 1 diabetes can be reversed. So she no longer has to have an insulin pump. Well, at the same time that both of those children were in Children's Mercy Hospital, our oldest daughter was at home with a caregiver training horses, and got on a horse for the first time and end up under the horse and having to learn to walk and talk and eat all over again. Why do I bring my oldest daughter up? I know the struggle. She was eventually labeled with Asperger's, high functioning Asperger's on the spectrum, which I'm going to talk a lot more about that later. On the spectrum. How do you feel about those words, that phrase, on the spectrum? I was angry when we were told on the spectrum. But let me back up. Autism is a real struggle. You know, I've had many parents come to me over the years, and I've not talked much about it on any platform I've been on, but I will help anybody that comes to me. Several years ago, there was a lady that I was helping with her health personally, and she said, "Wait a minute, can you help my daughter?" And I said, "Sure, I can help your daughter." The little girl was 7 years old and had never spoke. Of course, as a parent with an autistic child, as a grandparent, as a friend of somebody who has an autistic child, we know some of the symptoms as life goes on. So the little girl had never spoke. I started helping them and didn't have all the wonderful medications we have now, all the supplements that we have now. However, she drove for hours all day long with her daughter to come on Valentine's Day, hand me. The daughter got out of the car with a balloon and was running around, running around, running around. And I still didn't know the little girl was speaking. And then the mother handed me a beautiful bouquet of tulips. And the little girl came running up, gave me the balloon, and said, Miss Sharilyn, as best she could, she's learning to speak. The little girl was just like as if she was my own child. You know, I love people, I love children, but that child has such a place in my heart, and every person I work with. All people do, but every person that I learn to know personally and I work with, they have such a place in my heart. So over the years, I have not gone back to look and see how many parents have come to me, but I've helped several parents with autistic children. It is a real disability. And it is a struggle because many times we're dealing with learning our child to try to help them and understand what's going on. And the world outside just thinks that this child is misbehaving, that this child just needs controlled. And if you have ever seen parents try, they do their best. But these children, what the parents are saying does not get to their brain in a way that it does with another child. What the parents are doing with that child, their brains do not cognitively understand what is going on and what the parents are trying to get across. So, like one mother that came to me, she said, I've said a phrase 10,000 plus times, right? She had said this repeatedly and repeatedly. Was her little son, was he the one that was 9? I believe he was 9 and still wasn't speaking. I know the challenge it is, and I know how heartbreaking it is for parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Normally, a diagnosis comes between age 2 and 3. However, it is really hard to get a diagnosis. It can take years to get a diagnosis. And most of the time, it's from watching the children. Now, some children, 2 or 3 years old, and they're not even trying to speak, they're babbling, or they're not even doing that. Some of them are very severe cases that are more easily diagnosed. But some of the cases take years. Most children are diagnosed around age 5. Children on the autism spectrum have seizures many times, have chronic GI issues, gut intestinal issues. Some have mental health conditions. And for years, there was no support system for parents. And the little support system that is there now is still misunderstanding, in my book, in my opinion, still misunderstanding autism. So I can talk on and on and on about this, but what I want you to know is there is hope. Children can get better.
Yeah.
They can start to heal. We have ways now of helping them.
Yes.
Just like a 9-year-old boy whose family had cancer, he had cancer. And the parents had tried many different things that they had heard of. They'd even worked with a doctor previous to working with me.
Wow.
And the difference it made when they came and started working with me. So there's recipes of what to have your children drink that every child that has drank these recipes loved them.
Right.
It's like drinking hot chocolate. It's like drinking soup broths. It's like drinking a really good juice. It's like eating their favorite foods. And the supplements they take are very good tasting supplements. Normally they're drops you can put in water, in juice, whatever. Drops you put in their hot chocolate. And yes, it's a special recipe of hot chocolate. It's drops you can drop in their tongue, sprays you can spray. There's hope. And once we get this process started, then we start working with the brain. So I have had several studies with brain. I have taken classes, certifications on the brain. So not only do I help the child with all these things I previously mentioned, but we do brain exercises that help the cognitive brain develop to wake up. But let's talk about testimonies. When a mother is so excited, 48 hours after starting with me, that her child is now talking.
That's incredible.
And he makes sense in what he's saying. Yes. Most people that start working with me, within 48 hours, there are major shifts and changes in the children.
Exactly.
It's very quick. It's very fast.
Yes.
We have to see a difference fast. This is not something to take weeks and months of progress. This is immediate.
I love that. I love that. Especially because
Go
the
ahead.
family's already been dealing with it for a while now. That immediate fact of seeing change within 48 hours is such a miracle in itself. It's desperately being sought after of, what I need to see change right away, which is what has happened in your testimonies.
Yes, it is. Yes. So we get to see those immediate changes. There's no time to lose.
Yeah.
And the house becomes peaceful and calm. So Dr. Victoria and I are now working together on many things. She's come alongside and we are teaming up together to do many projects. So we go through the same 7-step formula that we go through with cancer, with any disease. And it's tailored to what each individual person needs.
Yeah.
Spiritual and emotional are right across from each other, connected.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Victoria is excellent in this area, top notch. We get to have that base foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And then food, supplements,
Mm-hmm.
nature, and there are many ways to do nature.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise. So we're exercising the brain, just like somebody would exercise their body. We're exercising the brain. So all these things bring the brain into balance. Am I talking about a miracle cure? No, there's no miracle cure. Let's get that straight. What I am talking about is a deeper level of health for the brain and the body, understanding calm where there was chaos.
Yes.
I know the chaos. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I've lived it. I know the chaos.
Yeah.
What about the child whose mother just started recently working with me? And she's so elated. You will find I drink a lot of water, a lot of my favorite hot chocolate,
Very delicious.
green teas, all the things. All right. So this mother was so elated that when she gave me a video testimony, there were a lot of cuss words in this testimony. So ecstatic about her child 48 hours after starting this. He's saying, go please. Go please.
And this is a child who was nonverbal.
Non-verbal, 9-year-old non-verbal child. Pulling her, she couldn't even sit down on the couch, pulling her, couldn't lay down, ripping the sheets off of her if she laid down. There was no rest in the house. And especially if his tablet that he tried to use for communication didn't connect to the internet, there were storms outside, many, many things. Chaos ensued very fast, right? And so to have a child that goes from that 48 hours later is speaking, and the next day after that, less than 72 hours after that, for starting with me and doing his protocol that's right for him, he is now reading a book in the back seat. And the kids that are in school, they get in from school and they're like calling him out by name, and he is reading. Mom, he's reading. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? She said, I took a video and sent it to like 1,000 people, right? A lot of people she sent this video to. Because who's going to believe that a 9-year-old child that has never spoken his life, that chaos and struggle and all these things are occurring on a daily basis? Who's going to believe that now he's speaking?
Wow.
And when you see it, the power, the beauty.
Yeah. That's
Can you imagine as a parent having an autistic child? Can you imagine? Have you hoped about it? Have you prayed about that very thing, that your son or daughter could communicate with you, and that there might be more peace and calm in your home? It is possible. Not only is it possible, I will do everything I can to make it possible. And every person that has taken my advice, this I would do if I were you.
Yes, absolutely. And
As received health.
Dr. Sharilyn, I want to dive more into what that looks like in a second. But first of all, I know that there's some who have, been on this journey with their children, probably even a little bit longer. So they're kind of like aware and have done some research. But maybe there's a parent who's listening and they're just either new into this and have got so many questions. So there's three questions that I wanted to ask you. And, first of all, for that parent who's like, I don't even know how this happened, what causes autism?
So there are different levels of autism, and there are different types of autism. And we could debate for hours about that. Autism can come from too much metal on the brain. Too much metal affecting the cell that then affects the brain. It might be mercury, it might be aluminum, it might be another metal. How do metals come into the body? Several ways, but the major way is through a vaccine or a shot. Another way that autism comes is through generational. And you might say, I've never had autism or any level of the spectrum in my family. However, it can skip 3, 4, 5 generations. So you might not know great what there was. Most of the time, there's been studies done that the gene actually comes through that type of autism, and on the spectrum, different levels of spectrum, that type of autism comes from the male side of the family. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it comes from the woman's, but most generally it comes from the male side of the family.
Okay.
And that leads into another great statistic to know about. Boys are 4 times more likely to have autism or be on the spectrum than girls. So studies were a few years ago, 1 in 31 children have autism. Not on the spectrum, have autism. Now, in the last 3 to 4 years, the children that have autism or on the spectrum now are 1 in 20. Which says to me,
I think you're frozen, Dr. Sharilyn. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear us?
if that is gene derived. I was not part of that study, so I don't know if it was gene derived autism or if that is environment derived autism. So that leads to a great question. Can we go through our life and as an adult, now be on the spectrum?
Yes. I was just gonna ask that because just last week I was like having this thought, and I was like, thought because of something that I read, that autism is showing up in adults, they're getting tested and finding out now that a lot more adults are on the spectrum. And it got me thinking, are some of these, when we're talking about maybe mental health issues and some of the things that we're seeing, because there are adults who are on the spectrum?
Yes, it is possible.
Yeah.
It is possible. I will not answer a definite on that, but it is possible. What we know is previous to 5 years ago, there was 1 in 45 adults diagnosed with autism over the age of 17, diagnosed with autism. Now, that age is decreasing. 1 in 40 adults are being diagnosed with autism. Which says to me, and again, I can't clarify this, but in my thinking and the way I work with people, it says to me, again, that's coming from an infected cell in the body, which would be metals on the brain, chemically derived, right? Now, let's define autism. Speech delay can be one of the signs, facial expressions, gestures, and then emotions, acting out, not able to control themselves. If you, for instance, see a child at the grocery store with a parent or a caregiver, you get to give them grace. If there is a child above 3, 4, 5 years of age, and they are having these kinds of things, or screaming uncontrollably, or throwing something or banging something, those are classic signs of a child being on the spectrum. Recently, a parent that came to me said her little boy did speak a little. Most of the people that I work with, well, let me say it like this. Most of the children I've worked with in the past have been nonverbal, but now I'm getting some of these people that did speak when they were younger. And so they're anywhere from, age 7 to like 21. And now what we're finding is something's happened for them that where they were 2 and 3 years old and was speaking, now they're not. That signals to me that it's something medically derived that's causing this. So this one little boy, any social situation that he's in, he feels intense pressure. He senses things very easily about people around him. And Big Brother has to go with them when they go to the grocery store, when mom goes to the grocery store, because he helps take care of little brother. Now, little brother is 13 years old. And normally he does okay going through the grocery store because she can keep saying to him, keep him, okay, let's find your next favorite food. Let's find your next favorite thing. Let's find, but in checkout line, there's no finding the next thing. And so here he is waiting in line, standing, waiting in line, and people are all around and a lot of noise, and the scanners are beeping the things across. And he'll start, And then he'll say, squeeze, squeeze. He knows the word squeeze. And that means big brother, hug me. Big brother, hold me, because I need reassurance right now. And most of those children do. They need a lot of reassurance. And sometimes, as you of a parent or grandparent or caregiver, you know that sometimes if it gets to a level, there's no way to bring in reassurance. Reassurance is just like they're past that part, right? So it's hard to take a child to church and ask a child to sit for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, especially if they don't have a tablet to play on and keep themselves busy and focused on one thing, thinking of one thing. It's very, very difficult for a child to sit there that is on the spectrum. And it's very difficult for the parents. We get to give these families grace. We get to love them. We get to support them and cherish them. Forget about a videotaping. Forget about anything else. Minister to that family. They need you. You don't know what they've gone through. If you have not had a child on the spectrum, been around a child, you have no idea what they have gone through in their week. And they're just coming for their souls to be refed, for a little bit of rest and peace, and be refreshed, be renewed in their spirit. They need us to minister to them. They need us to give them loving care. So let's talk a little more.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was so muted. I was so muted, just talking to myself. I was saying, is that okay? I was saying, I love everything that you're sharing. And, for those who are just tuning in, we are talking about finding hope in autism. And if you're just joining us, Dr. Sharilyn is a functional medicine doctor and oncologist, and she has specialized in the brain. And today our discussion is that there is hope in these situations. And if it's okay, Dr. Sharilyn, I'd like to go a little bit in the functional medicine side, because maybe for those who are new to this might be a whole new different thing. In fact, I think what a lot of people have probably heard is holistic. And I feel like this is so much more than that, and nothing wrong with holistic medicine as long as it aligns with the word of God. But I love what you're doing in the realm of functional medicine. And basically, let's just talk a little bit about that so that parents, first of all, know that although this journey will, kind of require some hard work, it is hard work, but it's also not. It is, but it's not. And I love it because that functional medicine side comes in and it's, wait a minute. So this whole thing can be reversed, can be different with just eating the right types of foods and taking the right types of supplements. Wait, that's it? So let's just talk with our audience, just letting them know a little bit, because probably for some of them, this is the first time that they're hearing about this. What is functional medicine and how does it fit into this world of autism?
Thank you for asking. That's very good. Functional medicine gets to the root cell that's causing any disease or illness. Mm-hmm. So when we know the root cell that's causing the disease or illness, and it can be very easily found, it does not require blood work and a lot of things. It can be very easily done. Mm-hmm. Yes, there might be some testing with some people, but there are other people that we don't even need to do any testing on. We just see what's happened before, where we are, and start.
Mm-hmm.
So when we put the right supplements,
Mm-hmm.
the right food,
Mm-hmm.
maybe medication,
Mm-hmm.
the right drinks,
Mm-hmm.
maybe oxygen. Oxygen helps to heal the brain.
Yes.
And helps to heal the entire body. But you say, how do we increase the oxygen? Well, there are different ways that we can increase oxygen, and one of them can be through foods, and one of them can be through drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And there's many other ways. So, like a cancer patient, they might need a hyperbaric chamber.
Mm-hmm.
They might need red light therapy and a hyperbaric chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not a one size fits all.
Right.
You come to me and I help you. I listen to you and I help you set your protocol. And then we go to work together.
That's right.
I am there with you. You're in a text message thread with Dr. Victoria and I.
Mm-hmm.
You have weekly calls with us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a point where when we're working with your child's brain, that they have small calls with me every day. Because remember what I said is the exercises we do to help the brain. And then there will get to a point where we no longer need to do that intense 10, 15, 20 minute of exercise a day for the brain.
Mm-hmm.
So functional medicine gets to the root cell causing the disease.
Mm-hmm.
And when we find the cell that's causing the disease and we put the right combinations to that cell, it starts to release toxins, inflammation. It might be fats it starts to release, and the body starts to heal. So sometimes children on the spectrum can be one of two things. They can be way overweight, or they can be very thin and not gain enough weight. When they take these different therapies, food therapy, drink therapy, supplement therapy, whatever there is right for them to do, their whole body starts to heal. So their weight will balance out because everything else in their body, the diseased cell, is balancing out.
Yes.
Most of the time, I will tell you that these children get to have, once we reach a certain level, I will help you set a protocol for the next 6 months. You come back to me, we set a new protocol for the next 6 months. If you need to come back to me sooner, you do that. But most of the time, these children that are on some of these supplements are on these supplements for life. But let's look at this. Less than $300 of supplements for life, and they have a functioning life. They're speaking. They're living a life of quality for them. Less than 72 hours and reading a book and actually reading it word for word. Why would you ever take that child off that supplement?
Exactly. And what I love about the supplements that you recommend, other than one, because of the way that it needs to, um, it's not there on the regular market like a physician has to get it, but these are supplements that the parents can go on Amazon to their local pharmacy,
Okay, that's a great question. That's a great question. I give you the links.
Mm-hmm.
In your program, in your protocol, you get the links of where to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sometimes we do work with depending on what the illness or disease is,
Mm-hmm.
or multiple diseases, we might work with a compounding pharmacist. And I have the compounding pharmacist. I tell him what I want you to have, and he creates.
Beautiful.
So, yes, you can purchase through every link I give you what you need. It's not something like you have to find the best one and what's the highest quality. No, I have all that figured out, worked out already, and I give you exactly what is needed. So it's very, I think it's very well laid out, step by step.
Yes. And
Exactly
tailored.
what works.
Yeah. And it's tailored. That's what I love
And
working.
tailored.
Yes. Working with you is you see the individual. It's everybody being as unique as their thumbprint, fingerprint. And that's who everybody is to you. It's not, no two patients are alike. They might have some similarities, but no two patients are alike that are in front of you. You see each person as an individual. Even if you're working with siblings who are on the spectrum, I've seen you treat them as individuals. And I love that about you. Just excellent bedside manner, but even just your heart and your spirit towards them is that you're seeing a unique individual. And therefore, you are tailoring a program that best suits them. I love that about you. So, our audience, as you're listening, I want to assure you this is the expertise that she brings in, is that individuality. And I know some of them are probably asking, I feel like I can hear it. How does she do that without any blood work and without any? Please let them know about idology, which is one of the things that fascinates me about you, because that is so brilliant.
Idology is a study of the eyes. We can look at the eyes and the muscles and see what's going on through the second layer of the brain. Now, if I want to look past the second layer of the brain, I am getting a scope. But we can see what's going on with organs. We can see what's going on with the body. So we're looking at the muscles on top of the eye, below the eye, the retina, and the cornea. So we can see what's going on. Now, sometimes we have to take hair sampling. Our hair holds information. Our hair holds information for 2 years, sometimes longer, but for at least 2 years. So if we take a hair sampling and send it to the lab, we're going to know back 2 years where we're at. The hair holds information longer than blood. Blood holds information 30 to 90 days. So by taking the hair sampling, we have a wide range. And our hair sampling used to test 1,500 things. Well, now we have another hair test that thankfully right now I'm not having to charge any more for, but we now can test for 1,770 things.
That's fascinating.
So we can see exactly what's going on with the digestional tract, with the gut. We can see what's going on with the brain that I might have missed.
Wow.
So we can see so many things, and that includes allergies and, medication that you might be allergic to, so many different things. And yes, the people that have done the hair sampling have gotten answers. So it's called hair strand testing, is what it's actually called. HST, hair strand testing. Do I start there with you? No. We have a simple phone call. We have a simple conversation. I look in your eyes, your child's eyes, and the child goes and plays, and we talk.
Mhm.
And from there, we know where our baseline is, where to start. Now, Dr. Victoria was talking about, she's witnessed me working with siblings sets. I try to bring as much in together as I can. So say children need the hot chocolate. I try to have, can each child have the hot chocolate? Can we make a large batch, a couple of quarts of hot chocolate, and have one then labeled for one child and one labeled for the other child, and then just add the drops to the hot chocolate that each child needs right before they drink it. So if the child needs this hot chocolate 3 times a day, we already have it made from the night before in the fridge. It's easy to pull out, warm up, not in the microwave, and then add the supplements to it. Just warm it quickly in a pan on the stove, and then add the supplements to it that the child needs. So we do as many things like that as possible to make it as easy as possible for you and your family. I have had many children in my home over the years, so I know, I get you, I understand. It's hectic raising a family. Not only did we have 3 biological children of our own, we had 13 foster children over the years. And now, in a home in Nairobi, I have 5 adopted African children. From the youngest one just turned 6.
Oh.
From 6 to 17 years old now.
Wow.
I love people and I love children. So when I see a children hurting, a child in pain, emotional or physical, I'm there.
Right.
I'm
Especially having
helping
gone
you.
through it yourself with 2 of your own babies and, standing by them, and your first daughter having leukemia and the second,
The
um,
youngest daughter had leukemia.
the youngest one
Yes.
having leukemia. And was it your second
The
who
second had diabetes.
had diabetes? Yes. And having gone through that victory with them and even your own health victory, I think that's so awesome. That is so awesome.
I have a lot of health issues that I had a lot of health issues that I rarely talk about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I had thyroid issues. It was said thyroid issues run in your family.
Mm.
We can help the thyroid with the right things for the thyroid.
Yes.
So I've helped many women and men that have come to me. For 2 years, they've tried to heal from thyroid cancer.
Wow.
And they've come to me, and one lady from Wisconsin, in 4 months, she's healed.
Wow.
And she told everybody. There was a women's group at her church. They would go to her church at night and get on Zoom calls with me so they could all be together supporting each other through their health things they were working on.
Yes.
And a couple of them had the same things they were working on, but most of them each had their individual thing. So sometimes people that work with me go into a Facebook group and we have Zoom calls. Sometimes we have Zoom calls. Sometimes you work with Dr. Victoria and I in your program. Could be together in a group or individually. And the beauty of working together in a group is you have that partnership, you have that support. And that's what we want to offer to children, to their parents of children that are autistic, have ADHD. Yes, ADHD is on the spectrum. Have anxiety and depression, that can be on the spectrum. And even dyslexia can be on that same spectrum.
Wow.
Asperger's is on that spectrum. There's several levels of Asperger's. There's low functioning, there's a middle range, and there's a high level of Asperger's. So I was telling you about our oldest daughter that was diagnosed with Asperger's after she started healing from her horse riding accident. One characteristic of high functioning Asperger's is that their brain keeps developing and developing. And so you might say, my child knows everything about every football team in the United States. They know it. And some of them even know foreign. You know, they have something they're really passionate about. And so our daughter, when she had her IQ originally tested, she was at what is normal range for a human, which is around 90, 98. As she started to heal her brain, and we were putting these supplements and high levels of oxygen to her and doing these different therapies, her brain began to develop more and more and get stronger and stronger. So she tested out at 136 before she went to college.
Wow.
Through her university years, she was in university 4 years, her brain continued to develop and grow. And she's now on the other side of 150.
Wow.
She was tested when she was still in university at 146. And now her brain just keeps doing what it gets to do.
Right.
That is a high functioning Asperger's. When somebody continues gaining high levels of IQ, yes. Has her protocol changed over time? Yes, she pretty well eats anything she wants now.
Right.
Yes, she still takes a couple of supplements, and she will take them for life if she wants to. She's an adult now, so she determines what she does. But she's able to have a normal life. Very, very smart person that is very highly sought after in her job. And she's very quick at her job. She's a 3rd-degree black belt now, so her body's registered as a lethal weapon in the state where she lives. Very, very high quality, very high functioning. Like I said, she's very sought after. And I don't think we're going to talk about where she lives or what she does. We get to keep her safe. She's on a mission. She's on a mission, and she's extremely passionate about it. So my middle daughter, she's a marine biologist, very high functioning. If she still had to have her insulin pump, she couldn't be in the waters for up to 16 hours a day, 12, 16 hours a day.
Right.
Because she has a diet plan that she follows, and she has supplements she takes, she can take care of herself, and she can do the job, the passion that she loves to do. And our youngest daughter is in university to become exactly what she wants to do. She's following her dad's footsteps, her older sister's footsteps, and living a healthy quality of life.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love that, guys. See, there is so much hope for you. And that's what we wanted, to bring you today. So 2 things, if you haven't seen my posts in the chat, 2 things from there. There's a way to connect with us. If you click on that link, that's the bit.ly Faith Food Function sign up. That's for you to get your information to us and we'll reach out back to you and we'll schedule a time. It's a free consultation that we can meet with you and work out a plan for your child. And then also too, as you've been hearing us discuss it, yes, we're talking mainly about autism, but we have mentioned autoimmune diseases, lupus, and cancer. And if you're saying, hey, listen,
MS.
MS, yes, I need to get some results and get over this, we work with that as well. Dr. Sharilyn is very skilled, and so we want you to set up a time with us. So please use that link to sign up. And then also too, shortly, we're going to have question and answer time. So please post your questions in the chat and we'll be able to discuss them. If you have my number and want to text me, I won't be able to get to DM, but if you have my number, at least you want to text me, I can read the question, but please put that in the chat. And we will get to those questions because we do want to hear back from you in case you need something clarified or something explained further. We'll be happy to do that for you. Dr. Sharilyn, when you were talking, you had mentioned that just the various things that you do, and sometimes what I've seen is a client coming to you for one thing, and before we know it, we're helping the whole family. I think that has to be one of my favorite moments. And, that's one of the things I just love working with you. And especially sometimes, even as parents, we go, I'm going to put my child first. And, sometimes we kind of forget about ourselves. But what I'd love when I just working with you, we're going to look at the family if we need to. And we're helping parents as well. And I think that's been your own testimony. You set out to help your 4-year-old little girl, and that started your own health progress. She put on 10.
She put on 7
pounds, and you lost 10 pounds, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So we were just understanding about functional medicine. We'd just found the functional medicine doctor to start working with our daughter, healing her cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided, because my child does not do anything alone. Mm-hmm. I am there, I'm supporting, I am present with my child. Mm-hmm. I decided that when we're in the home, everybody's going to eat the way she's eating. And then outside of the home, we could choose when the other children were at school, when dad's working, whatever. So I decided for myself, I was going to do her exact diet for a week and see how it went for me. Mm-hmm. Not knowing that what I was doing wasn't even quite right for me, but it helped me as well. Mm-hmm. So our daughter, when we started working with a functional medicine practitioner, she was so weak she couldn't walk. Her hair had fell out from the chemo. Her teeth were turning black and falling out. So at 5 years old, she had dental implants. And it was about her 5-year birthday that we found this functional medicine doctor, about 8 months after really going through this process. We found the functional medicine doctor. Wow. And healing began to happen. The very first week, the 4th day, she's saying, Mommy, can I stand? Mommy, can I walk? Wow. And I'm like, try. Wow. And then we had to report into our functional medicine doctor. Our functional medicine doctor was not close to us, just like I might be close to you, but possibly not. We work online, we do phone calls. Mm-hmm. So I was reporting into the functional medicine doctor. So I needed to weigh my child to see where she was. Had she lost weight, gained weight, all those different things. Mm-hmm. And so she weighs first. And I wish to this day that I had thought to set up a video camera, but I had no idea what was about to happen. She weighs, and she's gained 7 pounds on this diet, a pound a day. Mm-hmm. I weigh after her. We were joking and laughing. We were making games, having fun about it. I weigh, and I went, wait a minute. I just lost 10 pounds. No, that scale can't be right. You know how you do? You reset the scale. Right. You're like, that scale's broke. It just broke.
Exactly.
You know? And you're weighing again and you're weighing again. And I jump off the scale so elated. I had lost 10 pounds. And I'm grabbing my daughter up as best I can at 316 pounds after losing 10 pounds and dancing around the room with my daughter. I know what it's like to weigh a lot of weight. Partly because as health issues came on, I didn't have answers. And as health issues came on, I was never where I had been before in my life, and emotions took over. So you might be somebody that's like, I can just look at exercise and go, I feel like I've exercised. I cannot exercise. There's no power, willpower, energy, anything in me to be able to exercise. I've just looked at it, right? So I understand. Not only did I take care of, like I say, my thyroid and my gut tract, I had diverticulitis, many things I had going on in my body. People can pass from diverticulitis. It is a dangerous disease to have. So as I learned, I would go back to the functional medicine doctor the next time myself when my daughter went back to start my own protocol to gain even more health faster and to learn, and then became so passionate about it. I was like, I have to learn. I have to know this, that, you know, so I'm up in my hotel room. If I was at work studying nights when I'd come, I had to know. I just had to know. If I came home, I was working from a home area. Again, up nights, studying, learning.
Wow.
And then put myself back through school again. Because my child got to have the best.
Yes.
And that was before we had the term. I had not previously heard the term mama bear, but that was me. I was going to find it. It was going to happen. End of story.
Exactly.
Now we have this health and this healing. And you can have it too. So, like Dr. Victoria said, she put a link in there that you can fill out and get with us. You can send us a DM. If you have our phone numbers, you can text us. Sometimes we are hours and hours, one call right after the other backed up. So it's easier for you and us if you text us or DM us or get in the comments on Facebook or wherever and send us a message. Then as we're looking through it, we can go right to it. What I want you to know is I have supported people that have weighed 500 pounds to lose the weight and become healthy that they needed to lose. I have also helped people like my daughter who needed to gain weight, gain the weight they needed for their health. So there's a wide spectrum of what we can do for the body and with the body.
Yes.
Also, one thing we were talking earlier about people on the spectrum. And one thing I didn't mention is it's very important for people on any level of the spectrum to have routines and intense focus times. Yes, there gets to be a little downtime, but mostly for autistic people, they need a structured routine.
Yes.
They need it all planned out and they at some point will memorize their routine. They will know, okay, this is what I do next. This is what we do next. Sometimes parents have come to me that their children have been in a special school for autistic children. It might be a government school, it might be a private school. One little boy that came to me, he had been in a private school. I think the teacher had like 5 students, or he made the 6th student, something like that, very small group of children that she'd been working with. And after he gained a level of health, he was then able to go to public school, speaking, having good communication skills, even with his body. Is he a little slower than somebody who is never had a problem of being on the spectrum? Possibly. But it was amazing how fast he started catching up. Yeah. Remember, again, I said we work with the brain. We know the levels of oxygen to put to the brain, supplements to put to the brain, and the brain will respond.
Right. I love that. I love that.
What questions do you have for me?
Let me see over here. I think I had some come in. I got a comment that they're just taking all the info in, they're processing. So that's one that I have there. I don't know if I have any questions. I think they're just taking all of this info in.
You might have heard of a autistic person that has become somewhat famous. And her quote is, "Autism is a part of who I am." Temple Grandin. Her mother wrote a book about her. And when our daughter was first diagnosed with Asperger's, I believe it was the first book I got. So yes, she's on the high functioning. Temple Grandin is on the high functioning side of the autism spectrum. And she can still live a pretty normal life. She's still alive to this day. She was living in Texas at one point. I'm not sure if she still lives in Texas, but she could work. She loved animals, very passionate about animals. She saw a routine and a structure that was going on with animals. And I love that, because as somebody who looks for patterns, systems, structures in the body, like, okay, she saw that in animals, right? So she was able to help the quality of life for the cows in the feed yard that she was working in, the horses in that feed yard she was working in, because she saw something that the animals were seeing that most ranchers and farmers missed. And so she has developed many systems, patterns, and structures that change the way animals are taken care of to this day.
Wow, that's fascinating.
So your children do have hope. Adults that are labeled do have hope.
Yeah.
They can grow and mature, and with the right environment inside their body and outside of their body, they can have a high quality of life.
Amen. Amen. I love that. We do have one question that's come in. And it's after you have looked at the child's eyes, do you look at both parents' eyes, or who is available? That's question 1. And question 2 is, what is an example of the brain test that you mentioned?
Okay, question 1. If I'm just working with the child, I'm just looking at the child's eyes. If I'm working with other family members, then I'm going to look in your eyes. You're an individual. Your child will tell me their individual things. So, for instance, if I see certain levels in the child, that's unique to the child. So if I see a brain issue, that's unique to the child. If I see a gut issue, intestinal issue, that's unique to that child. And many, many other health issues, it's unique. You can say, it runs in my family. It runs in my husband's family. It runs in my wife's family. Yes and no. Yes and no. Because when we know how to heal the body,
Yes,
it stops there. It's done. It's over. And as long as they stay on some kind of protocol or they reach a level of health and they no longer need a protocol, it stops there. If they have children, it stops there. We're not going down this generational thing. So you can say, just like was said in my dad's side of the family, well, your dad had diabetes. I remember my dad taking shots, putting them in his stomach, putting them in his leg, wherever he needed to. I remember that. I remember my dad having such bad high blood sugars with his diabetes, he would pass out. I remember all that, even though I was a little girl. I remember the struggle with my father. I remember the first time I met some of his aunts, and they were on dialysis in their own home. They had dialysis machines because they lived too far from my dialysis clinic. Now, at the rate that we have things going on, there's dialysis clinics in almost every town. Even small towns have dialysis clinics now. Have you ever asked yourself why? Or is it just me asking why? Why do we have so many people on dialysis now? To be in every small town have a dialysis clinic.
it's a good question. Yes.
Not my family. It stops there. Will my daughter, if she has children, she's in her mid-20s, if she has children, will she pass the diabetes onto them? No, because that cell that caused it, that caused the pancreas to excrete and not excrete enough insulin. Insulin is a hormone. So when we heal what the cell that needs to be healed, that's causing the insulin hormone to become out of balance, the whole body heals. Yes, I even work with a lot of people that get to have hormones balanced out.
You do.
I do. So,
yeah.
For instance, if women come to me and they've had cancer, or, it could be other things, we've got breast things going on, we can heal that hormone. So you hear, I'm going down rabbit holes. You get to bear with me. When you hear my estrogen is out of balance and that's causing such and such, do you know we can balance your estrogen by the foods and supplements you eat?
Sure can.
You don't need to have a suppressant. It needs to be balanced out with food and supplements. And you can live a very healthy life for all your life.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Victoria, you get to give me question number 2 again.
Question number 2, and I've actually got 2 more questions that came in.
Okay.
Let me bring the question number 2 here. What is an example of the brain test that you mentioned?
Which brain test did I mention?
I think
did I mention the one where I'm looking in the eyes?
I think that's the one where you said that looking in the eyes, you're able to see like the first layer, and then the second layer you need to do.
Past the second layer, I need to use a scope.
The scope, is that the one?
Yeah.
I think that's
so. Yeah. Just by looking in your eyes, I can see what's going on. You have layers of your brain in your brain. The brain is made up of fat, it's made up of protein, and it's made up of a liquid substance. Those are the main qualities of a brain. Now, there are going to be other qualities also, but those are the main three. So if I'm looking at the brain, I'm looking at how much I can see the protein in the eyes, where the brain is located. I'm looking at how does the quality of blood look. I'm looking at, can I see a good level of oil? You don't have to do anything. You just have to look at me for 20 to 30 seconds. You just have to look at me. And many times I can tell before 20 or 30 seconds is up. Dr. Victoria has witnessed that with herself. She's witnessed it with many people now. I'll go, okay. Or I might hum. I might hum.
Yeah.
Sometimes I start humming.
And I'm like, she's reading. And those of you who are wondering, like, what is that? First of all, it is so biblical. Remember when Jesus said that the eyes are the window to the soul? So even science has backed that up. So it's so beautiful. That's why I love working with this woman, because the things that God has said in his word, when he has said, the herbs and fruits and plants I've given you in the earth, these are for food and medicine. So functional medicine has ran with that. And this is what she's doing. So that's why I love working with her, because these are foods you can buy from your grocery store, supplements that you can order. She doesn't have shakes and protein sitting in the back of her, in her garage that she's selling from. She's showing you how to go to the grocery store. Dr. Sharilyn, sometimes it's even just simple things like, instead of having turmeric at this time, have it at this time. Give myself
Isn't that amazing?
It is so amazing. Because you said to me, you're like, hummus it's good for you, but it doesn't do anything for you as an 11 a.m. snack. It works so great for you at 7 p.m. It's those kind of nuggets. And then when you're like, okay, I'll trust you. I don't really know the science why she's explained it, but then I'm watching it happen and I'm going, oh my gosh,
For real, I can actually see it happening with my body.
Yes. Insulin resistance is being reversed. Like, wait a minute, she knows what she's talking about. So guys, you would be amazed that even the things that you have in your pantry, and you're like, yes, buy this. And you're like, yeah, but you need to add that with celery for this reason and have it at this exact time. So those things are fascinating to me.
And did you see the lady last week and the week before that one needed a lemon drink in the morning and one needed the lemon drink in the afternoon?
Exactly. It's those kind of details. So guys, you can hear stuff and there's all kinds of great info, but because you're so unique, it's when you're having it and what it does in your body. So that's why it's so incredible to work with her, because it's like some of you have got all the right pieces, but it's just where you're putting it in the equation that she's going to help put together. So that question wanted to clarify, like that brain test, it's the 15 minutes a day. So is that what they find out in the session, or can you answer that now?
If somebody needs to work with me with the brain for 15 minutes a day, those are specific exercises that I'm taking them through. So I have been certified by 2 world-renowned brain specialists to work with the brain, to teach the brain, to put the right things to the brain to help the brain heal.
Yeah, love it. So two other great questions here. It's is there any heightened risk for babies being born on the spectrum or with autism if the father is older, so like 40 plus? And then the second question is, what recommendations do you have for treating or lessening asthma attacks in individuals who have it?
So I always suggest, and you will have to have an appointment with me with asthma, because what I needed for my asthma to heal and what my daughter needed for her asthma to heal were 2 different things. We have the same blood type even.
Right.
And we still needed 2 different things.
Isn't that something?
When I was 19, when I was in my 20s, I wasn't saved. I think the only reason I didn't try smoking, didn't try drinking, didn't try possibly drugs, because there was drugs everywhere around me at college. The first time I went to college was because of my asthma. I was afraid that if I inhaled something, I would die. That's how bad I couldn't be around people that were smoking. I would immediately go into an asthma attack. I couldn't smell smoke or anything like that. And so it's very interesting that what I needed for my asthma was different than what my daughter needed. And so the same thing for you. If I give you a general, I don't treat in general. No one patient has ever come to me since I've learned functional medicine and I treat general. Even people that took my free program when I was first starting out, there was 178 people that went into a Facebook group, and I gave it to them free because I was doing clinicals and this and that and the next thing, and I was using them as case studies. So wouldn't have you liked to been one of those 178 people that 16 years ago got their program free, right?
Right.
However, no, even though they were all in the same Facebook group, men, women, and a couple of children, they were in the same Facebook group. They still each had their individual programs that they were doing. Because you are different. Your blood is different than mine. Your muscles, every part of you is different. So by you looking at me and talking with me for just a few minutes, I've got it. Where to start, the baseline of where to start, and then we move forward. So schedule a call with Dr. Victoria and I.
Yep. And the link is in there for that. That's with the bit.ly faith food function sign up, and then we'll get to you. So the beginning part of that question was, is there any heightened risk for babies being born on the spectrum or with autism if the father is older? So if the father is 40 plus?
It's a possibility, but what I will tell you is more studies have been done on certain ethnicities of people. So in the Black people community group, there are more children being born with being on some level of the spectrum than any other group in the world. And it doesn't matter where these Black people are at in the world. Isn't that interesting? Because I thought, oh, it's here in America more. But as I've worked in Uganda, Kenya, as I've worked in many other different African nations and communities, Nigeria, we see the same thing happening, which tells me several things. But what I can tell you is I can sit here and give you science and data and data all day long. And I love it. So I have it memorized and I refresh on it weekly. I'm going down these things like they are rabbit holes. To rest and relax at night, to rest and relax in bed. I'm doing this at night in my bed because it's relaxing to me. So I can go down rabbit holes all day long. But what you need to know is get on a call with Dr. Victoria and I, get an understanding for your individual unique situation and see what we can do to help you.
Great stuff. I love it.
Yes.
Any more questions, anybody? I think those are the only ones that I have seen. And yes, this is being recorded. If you're just joining us, we are discussing about bringing hope to families that have autistic children. We've talked about adults now being tested and being found to be autistic, and that there is hope at the end of the tunnel. And working with Dr. Sharilyn and I, we have talked about what that hope looks like, and that there's hope for your child, hope for your children, and that we're helping families get to that light at the end of the tunnel where they're seeing instantaneous change. Within at least 48 hours, there's a change that is being seen. So please use that link to sign up. And if you've heard this and you're like, well, it's not autism, but it's another health issue, you can sign up as well. We don't want you to think that sign up is just for that. If you have lupus or know somebody, excuse me, that does, and you want us to connect with them, send us that information. If you have some type of autoimmune disease, if you're battling diabetes, your body is insulin resistant, pre-diabetic, if you are going through perimenopause as women, menopause, and you got this menopausal weight gain, hormonal imbalances, cancer, prostate cancer, get in touch with us. We want to help you. And we are helping our clients spirit, soul, and body. So there are, everything begins in the realm of the spirit. So you better believe that we are tackling this as well from the realm of the spirit. We are dealing with things in the soul and also getting it to it in the body. And we just love on people. So we're here to hold your hand and to work with you. And you know what? Don't wait till January, you guys. Even if it's just having an appointment with us, it's complimentary. Sign up, meet with us, see what is available for your children, for yourself, for your family, and finish 2025 healthy and strong. That's what we want for you. Just sign up for some time with us, for a time with us, and see what is available to you. There is hope. They Dr. Sherlin was telling me about a client. I won't go into details for HIPAA uh,
Mhm.
laws, but she was on her deathbed. Literally, they said, by the end of today, say goodbye to your mom. And they called Dr. Sherlin and were like, help. This was in July. And for 5 days, they were saying, okay, Dr. Sherlin said, this is what I need you to do immediately. And the patient lived through that day. The next day they were like, well, okay, maybe we missed it, but definitely today, she's going. And this happened for 5 days. And this is November, and that client is getting better and better and better.
She's
So,
home.
and she's home.
She's walking down 3 flights of stairs now to go
Oh my
sit
God.
outside on her patio for 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
She's saying, I want to try eating this food now that I couldn't eat before. I want to do this. I want to do that.
Yes.
Health is possible at any stage, at any level.
Yeah.
And I love teaching prevention, working prevention.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter at what stage. The body can heal when we put the right things and the right combinations to it. God created our bodies to do that. And some of you might have seen Chris Beats Cancer. He has documented fairly well his journey. Now, he's not to my knowledge, he's not a doctor yet. I think he's taking classes and this and that. He teaches in a different way than what I teach. He heals in a different way than what I do, and he knows what worked for him. But I'm just saying, you can see people that have done this. He was on his deathbed and said, I don't know his full story. I mean, I've heard it years ago, but he was said, you're going to die. He was told, his parents were told, there's no hope left for him. He's going to die in this. And he didn't. He's here. I believe it's 20 plus years later.
I think you froze again. Is it on my end? I think you froze on us back. Okay, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I don't know where I stopped at. General information can be great. And then sometimes we need the extra things brought in, right? So people might hear of, oh, this protocol works, this protocol heals. And like I told a lady in a Facebook group just yesterday when she was in there, she said, I've heard of this and we've done it. And I have witnessed it healing other people. But why is my family member not healing this way? And I said, send me a DM, give me everything that you've done. Let's get on a call. Depending on what level of call, if I need to get on a call with somebody on a Saturday, if they're set, if I need to get on a call with somebody through the night, if a doctor's saying you got 6-8 hours to live, let's get on a call immediately. Immediately. So of course I'm wanting to know the level of where her family member's at. Do we need to get on a call immediately, even though it's 8 o'clock at night? If we need to do that, we do that. So we've set up a call because it wasn't an immediate thing for this next week, but she's already sent me, and I sent back to her, you've got to add 2 things to that. That's a great start, and information is out there, wonderful and free. That's a great place to start. But the reason her family member is not healing is because he's only getting 2 of at least 4 things he needs. And when I look in his eyes and we do a hair sampling, I'm going to know if there's other things I'm going to suggest. And then I'm going to give them a food protocol if they want to follow it. I'm going to give them a drink protocol if they want to follow it. When I say drink protocol, I literally tell you what to drink, how much of it to drink, and at what time to drink it. On everything, your food to everything. Yeah. So just like Dr. Victoria needed to start her day with blueberries. But like she witnessed a lady that was on a call with us 2 weeks ago. I looked at the lady and I started talking about mangoes. Yeah. And then close to the very end of the call, she says to me, do I need to eat blueberries? I bought them, but I really don't like blueberries. And I said, did I mention blueberries to you? We've had an hour-long call, and I never said one word about blueberries to her because I saw by looking in her eyes, her face, and her skin, the blueberries weren't right for her at this time. They might be right for her in 3 months, 6 months, a year, but right now, blueberries are not right for her. So that gives you an idea. I can tell a lot by looking at you and listening to you, what I'm going to suggest to you.
And I love, I don't know if you guys caught that. Let me clarify that for somebody in case you're wondering, okay, if I come on to work with you guys, you know what we're going to do? Even with Dr. Sharilyn's expertise, we will never clash and come against your doctor. So what you heard her say was, you've been told 2 things, but you've only been told 2 of the 4 things that you need. So we're coming in to complement. So Dr. Sharilyn will not tell you, even though she knows you don't need the medication, she will not tell you to get off of it. She leaves that to your PCP or the specialist that you're working with to take you off of that medication. I love that. So in case you're wondering, do I have to stop taking this and which doctor am I listening to? She comes in to work alongside. That's what we're both doing. We're not here to take you away from what you and your PCP are doing. So just in case somebody has that question and didn't know how to ask that, that's one of the big questions that we get. So just wanted to throw that out there for somebody. We are coming in as a support system.
Just like my daughter's doctor said, I guess we're gonna have to reduce her insulin. Her insulin pump she had on. The next time visit we went, I guess we're gonna have to reduce her insulin. Well, I guess we're gonna, Mrs. Garrett, I can't reduce your daughter's insulin anymore. Do what you got to do, doctor. Even though I already knew, do what you got to do, doctor. Give it back to the doctor and And that went on for 3 times, 3 appointments with him. He said, Mrs. I can't reduce your daughter's insulin anymore. Do what you got to do, doctor. And he finally said, well, I guess we're going to try her without it and see. You get it, you know, you go to, and then he gave me all the things. Go to the emergency room, if, you know, high levels of, you know, blood work or whatever, you know, go to the emergency room right away. He gave me all these. She's never been back to the emergency room or to a doctor for her insulin, for her pancreas excreting not enough or too much. She maintains to this day, and like you heard me say, she's my daughter who's in her mid-20s and manages it by the supplements she takes and the food she eats and when she does that. So a while back, a lady was saying to me, what does your daughter do now? I said, hold on, let me call her. Let's just see what she does now. She's like, Mom, if I want to go out with my friends and have whatever food I want to have, I either take my supplements before. When I come home that night, I know what supplements I need to take. The next day, I know that I'm going to do, depending on what she's eaten or drank, she knows what protocol she's going to start doing the next day, and she might do it for up to 12 days. And then she goes back to living her life normally.
Right.
When your body is healed, remember I said, when we're done working together, I set your protocol. This is what I suggest for the next 6 months. Then you come back to me and we see if we need to adjust that more for the next 6 months. I just did that last week with Dr. Victoria. We're on a phone call with another patient, and I'm looking at Dr. Victoria and I'm going, okay, make a note. When we get off this call, Dr. Victoria is ready for this next level.
Yes, I love it. I love it. She really does. Yeah. So if you are not doing what you need to do, wear thick sunglasses. Although that won't work, because she'll be like, take your sunglasses off.
So I have some friends that know what I do. And it's been several years ago. I was with a group of friends, and they're like, every one of the group, I don't know if they'd been out to eat the night before or what they had done, but we're at church that next morning, and they're all saying, and I come walking up and they're like, okay, Dr. Victoria, you can, or Dr. Sharilyn, you can talk to us, but don't look in our eyes. Because if you had pizza and you're not supposed to have pizza, I'm going to see that it's going to be just like pizza. It's going to be like flashing lights coming out at me.
Exactly.
So a friend of ours, she had known me for several years, and she came to me and she said, all right, something's going on with my daughter that, like, her doctor's not finding out what's going on. Will you help us figure this out? And I said, sure. I know this little girl, this family, you know, I drive up, and the kids from little on, even now, you know, they all have to be the first to be at the door and greet me and hug me. And she and her husband are the same way. And so we're just family with each other. And so the little girl came up to me, and Mom's right there. And I'm looking at this little girl, and I'm like, all I'm seeing is pizza. 72 hours before I looked in her eyes, she had had pizza. So you can see the oils, the mucus, inflammation. And it's just like, I see pizza, right? So it might be something else that you're allergic to, or that's not right for your body right now, that I can see.
Right.
Just like Dr. Victoria last week, we were with this other patient, and when we got off this call, I said, you know, I didn't tell her by her eyes, but I said, you need to add this in to your plan now.
Yes.
Because I can see this.
Yes.
It's just like flashing lights.
Yeah. It was music to my ears. I was like, wow, I guess I did need that. Help wonders too.
Good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
So Dr. Victoria and I are on this journey with you. She's very close to her end goal, and then she's going to go on maintenance for 6 months, and then we're going to talk. If we need to talk before then, we'll talk before then, and then she'll come back to me again, and we'll see if, why do we do that? We get to stay in health. We want you to keep that level of health, and I want you to know what to do. Yes. I don't want you going away now, you know, the weight that Dr. Victoria lost, the weight that we lose, then we're like, okay, this isn't sustainable. I can't keep this up for life, right? Because we don't want you getting too thin. Right. And so there's a place. So now, then I'm going to help her at a certain level go, okay, now you're maintaining, and you're going to maintain for 6 months. Right now, she might be maintaining for a month, or she might be maintaining for 2 weeks, and then we're going to go at it at a little different level. So we're going to maintain. When you get to a level of health, we're going to maintain for 6 months. Then you're going to come back to me. If you don't need any additional, you're going to maintain at this level. If you need something additional or remove something, we're going to do that. So even, you know, like a 6-month-old baby, my youngest patient has been a 6-month-old baby. Wow. And my oldest patient was a 92-year-old man. Ask me what age he is now. 96. 96, living well.
I love that.
So no age is too old, and no age is too young. What other questions do you have for me?
I think that is it from here. So, yeah, I don't see any more. So this has been a great conversation. I really love this. Yeah, guys, please be in touch with us. That link is in there, bit.ly/faith food function sign up. And that is to connect with us, complimentary session, and we'll take it from there. And today we have been discussing about finding hope in autism, and that your children can get over this, and you as a family can. And if there's any other health related situations that you want tackled, sign up. We want to speak with you, want to meet with you, and we'll take it from there. But we are seeing people getting healed from the inside out, body, soul, and spirit, and God is doing wonderful things in their lives and through their lives. Dr. Sharilyn, I just want to thank you for the gift that you are, the love that you have for people, the love that you have for the Lord. You are such an answer to prayer for so many of us. Thank you for being a destiny helper. Thank you for your yes. What started out as a mission to help your baby, and now thousands of people later, you know, you're helping save so many lives. So I want to say thank you again. I say that every phone call that we have, but I want to say it again on this live. Thank you for your yes. Really, really appreciate you. And just God continue to bless you. Do you have any closing remarks?
Thank you so much, Dr. Victoria. Thank you. You have been a blessing in my life. And yes, divine destiny helpers, as the Bible talks about, for each other. So I want to leave you with this. If you would like us to this month, next month, talk about another subject, put it in the chat. We will be happy to discuss it. Anything from the brain to your feet, even your hair, we will discuss it.
Again.
Thank you again.
Like us to dive into. Yes, go ahead and put that in the chat. Something you have a question on, we will come back and do another live on that. We want people healthy, healthy, healthy. So we'll be looking out for that. This is going to be on YouTube as well. If you're not following me on YouTube, I'll post the link here on my Facebook, and you can connect with us there as well. That way you can share with more people, especially for those who don't have access to Facebook. But this has been such a great discussion, Dr. Sharilyn. We had some really, really great questions too. So
Yes.
I enjoyed myself tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So everybody, we've come to the end of our discussion. Again, don't forget to sign up with us. Even if you've got more questions, you can post them in here. We'll get back to them. If you have my contact info, you can send them to me directly. If it's questions I can't answer, I'll forward them on to Dr. Sharilyn, and she will get in contact with you. But thank you so much for attending today. Don't forget to share this video on your timeline in the group with another family member that you want to see gain hope on this subject and many other health-related issues. Have a blessed week ahead. You are blessed and highly favored. May you find productivity in all that you do. And remember, Jesus loves you, and so do we. And with that, we say, shalom, shalom. Good night, our friends. Good morning if you're watching the next day. We love you, and God bless. Oh, somebody said, my uncle actually, hi, Uncle Calvin. He says, I would like to hear a session on how the mind processes trauma and its connection to weight imbalance. Oh, I love that. Uncle, please text me that one because I want to make sure that I have that word for word. So, how the mind processes trauma and its connection to weight imbalances. Love that.
That is awesome. And
Yeah.
Dr. Victoria and I both can talk on that for,
Yes.
we're going to have to get our notes together on that one.
Yes.
Otherwise, it'll be a few hours. So
6 hours, exactly. But thank you for that, Uncle Calvin. We will make sure that we come back with that one because that is a great question. Because I think a lot of times people just think it's only food related or exercise, but there's a whole lot more that goes on with us as people and our health and weight. So we will be back. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
God bless you all. And until next time, shalom, shalom.